Welcome to your inspirational astrology horoscope for Tuesday, February 12th, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. This is a huge, powerful day. There is so much clarity to be had if you understand how to find the clarity. That's because Mercury in Pisces, which is not the very clearest of places, this is where Mercury does not do too well. You know, Mercury wants facts, he wants to figure it out, he's really good at numbers, he puts on the calculator good, he figures things out really fast. When it's in Pisces, there's a whole ocean of information, and it's like, imagine an ocean. Think about an ocean with whales and dolphins and fish, and oh my gosh, it's like, it's divers and weird things and urchins and blah, blah, blah. It's just like plankton. Like, how could you figure all that out? It's just too much imagination, too much craziness. Well, anyway, the universe has a great thing in store for us today. Number one, Mercury and Saturn in Scorpio are going to hook up. So this gives us the ability to really expose our raw truth. It is very raw because within all these new realms that we have been digging deep with since October, we are digging into our dark stuff, our emotions, our true deep down desires, baby. And it's like, this is what I really want. And it's connecting to where the universe has been pushing us in this flow. You know, we are having to really go with the flow and trust our instincts. This is where instincts come way before understanding the facts. You might not be able to understand anything. You just know. This is where you know 100%. Your dreams are telling you. The sticker on that sign is telling you. This is where it's like, okay, yes, this is where I know I need to go. And today becomes very clear. If you're able to understand it, it's not going to come clear as far as like, well, here's the phone call and it just came. Even though, yeah, something could like that happen, but I would be honest with you, it's going to be the clarity in your mind with the emotional instinct that of just knowing, where it's like, this person called, that thing happened, and even though maybe it's not hard, concrete evidence that you would be expecting, you just know the information. You just know. You just like, yes, I know. This is it. This is what my truth wants. I'm going on it. It can also be on the other side. When you're dealing with Saturn in Scorpio, you're dealing with, you know, another duality style of a sign, just like how Pisces is. That's because there are two sides to Scorpio, dark and light. There's no in between. It's just that way. And this is where it's like, oh God, you know, this is the block that's been coming in between me going with the flow. This is actually the great things that I really want. This is where we figure out those two sides and go with the flow. Now, it's so important because we're in Aquarius, and I want to talk about this because, to be honest with you, we're at a very crucial point right now. We've been dealing with a lot of sensitivities for the last couple days, so, you know, this is pushing through any wounds, whether they're physical or deep emotional or even, you know, just sensitive to the energy. It's like you can't be so sensitive of the loud noise or, you know, of the weird energies that you're feeling. It's like you have to push through. You have to have some ovaries or some balls to get through them, I'll be honest. And with Pisces, it's not easy. It's like, oh gosh, to get the energy. We're very sensitive right now. And I mean, look at the Pope. He didn't have the balls to keep going. That guy's got no balls. So, you know, this is him just like falling down. You're like, oh my gosh. And you know what, right now, the universe is testing on who's falling down. Who is it gonna keep going with the flow? The universe is getting rid of the things in our life that show us that we don't desire. The reason the Pope quit, well, he probably didn't have the balls to do it. But the other thing is that it wasn't in his truth. It wasn't in his truth. And that's what you're finding in your life. You're only going to drop down and stop moving out of the things that are wounding in your life because they're not part of what you really want. And it's about moving into the ovaries or the balls and going in the direction of what you really want. And you will step through any sensitivities to go with what you really want for, right? And Mars is getting ready to make this trine in this week. At the same time, though, it's Mercury today to give you the understanding of the light switch turning on. Like, yes, I understand, I know. This is what I need to do now. You know, our actions are going to catch up here in the next couple days. But this is where it's like, yes, okay, I know, I'm clear. And with Aquarius, guess what? You need to find the rebel inside. You need to try something new. You need to connect with new people. You need to connect with new things. You need to find new values. You need to find new relationships, ones that are on the path of what you truly desire and what the universe is flowing into your life. If you're just stuck in the same old bargain, the old routine, the old, you know, gas pump station, like it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. This is where the universe is ready to take us on the journey of our lives. So really, even though, yes, we might not know every fact or detail, we're questioning a lot, but it's the questions that are getting us in between the beauty of the small world after all, baby. It's like questioning, well, what's in there? What's in there? How many people are there? How many little weirdos are singing in the ride? It's like, oh my gosh, just go in the flow and see for yourself and enjoy it, babe. You know, like go in there, you know? Even though you went through a lot of haunted mansions, let's say when you're a kid at the fair and it scared you and you're like, I don't know, you know? It's like, this is the small world after all. Well, I've never been in there. Are you sure? I used to be so afraid of weird little weirdos that jump out of me out of the corners like, you know? This is the energy, what's happening in our lives. There is a fear, there are blocks that are getting us between what we truly desire. The truth is that you love to ride rides and you love to go into these experiences and you've always been fascinated with it, but it's like you know that's what you're supposed to do, but you have that old fear. You have some sort of fear of what happened at crazy haunted mansions, that you're afraid this ride might turn out that way. It's not. Go into it. You're sensitive, we know, but trust us, it's gonna be beautiful. Trust in spirit. You got guided to come onto this ride, didn't you? Yeah, I did, actually. You know, everybody's told me, and you know, I had a lot of signs that brought me here. Then go on the ride. Today our emotions are very sensitive, so I'm talking to you in a very like masculine, courageous way, even though the energy's saying that you're very sensitive today. But it's tonight when the moon comes into Aries where we do get the strength, where we do get the stamina, and we learn some hard lessons because we have to really go with the flow, but we need to leave behind old paradigms. We need to leave behind the old system that this world works. If we want to talk at a mundane global level, doing the same old thing is not going to work. The way that people have achieved goals for hundreds of years doesn't work anymore. They're falling. People who had jobs for 30 years, get them lost. It doesn't matter if you had those degrees. You get to the place, you do it, and then it's like, oh my God, it all fell. That's because the universe is just a house of cards falling in the old system. In our own lives, if we're holding on to old rules and old systems and old traditions that are not good for us, guess what? They're gonna fall in our lives. And the universe is supporting us with a lot of big, powerful energy in order to really step us into new concrete, to build the foundation of this new forward moment with spirit, to flow and go and trust our gut and trust the stickers on the wall and the carvings on the weird, you know, toilets at the crazy gas stations. It's about following this stuff, don't questioning, using the questioning for why you're in the flow. Like, wow, that was really interesting. Expanding your mind while you're trusting spirit. You either go and trust the universe right now or you don't. And guess what? You can learn the hard way if you don't trust, or you can learn the great way. And you trust in spirit and you go with it. You know with your relationships, especially after this weekend and yesterday, yep, these are the people I want to connect with, these are the people I don't, these are the blocks that are coming in between, the values in my life because they're old values. I need to try new things. This is where the rebel wins. We're in Aquarius. This is where you detach and you move forward because Aquarius is the connection of the heart. The universe is showing us how we make our true heart's desires connect. This isn't about what our heart wants. This is about what our desire wants, which does kind of tie into the heart, but the truth is this is what we really deeply desirely want, our emotions want. A heart is very separate. Hearts, we'll talk about the heart when we're back in July, okay? But the truth is, right now is where it's like how this heart comes out, how it connects. And you know what? Go back to this summer. You knew what your heart wanted this summer. I bet you it's coming back right now and seeing if the lights are turning on. Did the light turn on what my heart wanted? Did it come? Did it become real? Really? It didn't? Well, why not? That's where we need to trust in the flow. We need to get rid of the blocks that are coming in between what our heart really wants. Valentine's Day is not about the heart of love. You've been duped when it's about that. It's about how that heart is in the connection with the other partner. If it actually has a light switch that turns on, in the celebration that it's the light switch that turns on. It's not about just what love is, if that makes sense. So you have to see that in your life, this is where if you're doing your work, if you're trying new things, if you're being the rebel, if you're trying to connect to new people, connect to new groups, connect to the world, follow the universe and leave behind the old structure, guess what? Your life's going amazing. If you're just stuck in the old same routine that the old world's always done, not willing to change yourself, not wanting to connect to the world, not wanting to go with the flow of the universe, thinking that you know better than God, oh my gosh, you're in for a boring, really hard emotional life, or you're probably depressed as crap. That's because Saturn and Venus has been in this depression. It's a depression. Emotionally, because you're realizing that the connection of what you really want, the light switch didn't turn on, because in July of this year, we had a Mercury retrograde in Leo. The July of this year that we just had in 2012, that's what you really wanted in your heart. But we're here now at the 11th house, right? Aquarius, where the light turns on, and guess what? You have no lights on in your life if you are not trying to connect that heart out to the world. You're just sitting and realizing that your heart didn't turn on, so it's time to find some new things to connect that heart with. Heart isn't about a certain somebody. Heart isn't about a certain, it's about what the core of it is. In Aquarius, yes, it turns into Ashley or Robert or all these different things, right? But it's about seeing, okay, you know what your heart is, try Roberta, and try Roger, and try all these different things. Don't focus on one person or one thing in Aquarius. You will die and lose. You will lose. You'll lose. You'll lose. And this is where I'm coming from so much compassion and truth and raw freaking truth, baby, because we are in the time where truth is the only thing that matters. And if you want to make your life the most amazing thing and get out of depression and get out of these things, you need to try a new thing. Stop connecting to the same thing, because guess what? The light's not on, and I guarantee you know exactly what I'm talking about in your life. It comes into Aries tonight, and then for tomorrow, guess what? We will see who has the ovaries, we will see who has the balls. And that's what this life is going to push us into right now, and this is where the big pressure is in our life. Do you have the courage to move into the uniqueness of the electricity of your life? Or are you going to sit in that old world where there's no lights, there's no electricity, and it's cold as ice? The people who have the lights on right now and the heat on in your life, you can see it. And it's the people when the sitting down in the ice cold who are wanting that, and it's because they're not connecting and trying new things, and they're living in the ice cold old world. Step into your truth. Find it today. You will understand what I'm talking about today. Check out my website, david-palmer.com, if you want a one-on-one reading, or if you want a 30-day life coaching transformation. I do it all at david-palmer.com. And I'm doing a big workshop in Washington. Check it out, ascending-hearts.com, March 22nd through 24th, 2013. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.